Welcome to episode 1 of Main Street Newscast. This will be a bi-weekly, sort of more of a podcast discussion type of show where I'll be breaking down the news and my opinion on it. So coming up in this episode, I'll be talking about the newly announced opening dates for Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland and in Walt Disney World, and what my thoughts on the whole phased opening of it will be. And also I will talk about the progress of the Skyliner Gondola system, and also the new entrance on the Play Pavilion that has been announced to come to Epcot in the coming years. So let's just jump in. So let's just get right into this. Basically, about 2 weeks ago now, or in around that, at I think it was a shareholders meeting or the quarterly sort of meeting, that Disney announced that Galaxy's Edge would be opening a lot earlier than what they had previously told us. So the dates now, well, originally in Disneyland it was supposed to open in the summer. And then in Walt Disney World, they had sort of slated a late fall opening, which to me sort of said November, late October, November. So it was a bit of a shock because they came out and said that in Disneyland it would now open on the 31st of May, and that in Walt Disney World it would open on August 29th. Now this is a lot earlier, especially for Florida, compared to what they have said. It's good news that it's opening earlier than expected, because it shows that they're really getting on in the construction aspect of it, if not nearly done by now. But one thing that really did put me back was the fact that they had said that the Rise of the Resistance ride, which is the trackless ride, the main ride of the area, was not opening on this date. And they did not state what sort of time frame that it would be opening. So literally when this opens, it will only have one half of the rides. And that will be the Smuggler's Run, the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run attraction, which is, to me, just an interactive version of Star Tours. It's not really getting me excited. I'm not the hugest of Star Wars fans. I'm more of a Marvel man myself. But besides the point, I'm still very excited to see this land. So, coming back to the point that the Rise of the Resistance isn't opening on the dates that they have announced, sort of shows that they're planning a more of a phased opening. The biggest reason, well, I think it probably is the reason they're doing this, is that number one, the ride's not finished. They clearly haven't got it finished. They're still doing work. I assume that by now the Millennium Falcon 1 is more than finished. They probably brought people in to finish it, to get this land open, get the people in, get more reservations. Which brings me to my second point. The reason I believe that they have opened this sort of earlier, a lot earlier than expected, is to get them reservations. They knew people were holding off until they announced a date to make reservations, which I think has really hurt their sort of finances in early 2019 and going into the summer, because people are holding off. The reason I think they're doing the phased opening as well is the fact that, well, it's phased opening, more that the Rise of the Resistance rise is probably not going to come until maybe that late fall, maybe even 2020. We don't know. That's the thing. That's what worries me. They have said nothing. So, I don't know. I think this is to sort of bring in more money. Instead of waiting until it's all done and opening it, they're thinking, let's open it now, get people in, get people through it, get money coming into the company. Because the financial year for Disney, I think, ends in September. Don't quote me on that, I think it does. I think they want people to book even, to get their money paid before that date, to sort of show a lot of green on the financial reports for 2019. And then bring in more people. They'll make a huge big new announcement that Rise of Resistance is opening. Get booking. People will book. People want to go, because at the end of the day, that is the main attraction. I believe it is. It might not be. It might be a sort of Flights of Passage, Navi River Journey situation, where Flights of Passage is the big boy, really. But we don't know. We don't know what sort of time scale they're looking at. They haven't announced anything. But I believe that it could just be delayed until when they originally sort of slated in Disneyland in California. They said summertime, whereas in Walt Disney World they said late fall. That's what I believe the Rise of Resistance ride will open. And we will get more details probably, maybe even before the land does open in May in Disneyland and August in Florida. But yeah. Also, a big thing that I have saw, I don't know if it's true or not, it could be, it might not be, I just saw sort of going about on Twitter and different YouTube videos, that when it does open, well, when it does open, Smuggler's Run and the rest of the land sort of opens up, there won't be any fast passes for the ride, or probably maybe even when Rise of the Resistance opens. I don't know what to think about this, because every land we've had before that's opened up, Toy Story Land, Avatar, we've been able to get fast passes right off the start, really. I think this is sort of a crowd management decision on Disney's part. Everybody's sort of, it's fair game when it comes to wait times and all, because everybody knows, if you don't think that if you don't think the ride times are gonna be long, what are you thinking? Like, these are going to be massive. Even in Disneyland, on its opening on May 31st, you have to reserve to even go into the land. That shows how many people Disney know are going to go. Also in Disneyland, I think the reason that's sort of being the decision is also because it's quite a local park. All the annual pass holders want to come in. They want to see it. So basically Disney's put their foot down and said, look, reservations. And if you're staying on Disney property, of course, in California as well, you do get sort of a early access to them tickets. You will be first priority because you're spending more money, basically. That's what they're saying. But even moving on from that, in Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World, they have also announced that the different naming schemes in the car park are changing. So at the moment, I think they still are. I don't think they've changed them yet. So at the moment, it's film, music, stage, and television. These names have been around forever. I remember going as a child, and it was still these names. So now, to sort of fit in with the new sort of side of the park, well, not side, the whole park is no longer what it used to be. It's all about immersion, all about putting you into the movies. So they've changed it to characters, basically. So the new characters are going to be Mickey and Minnie, and that's for the Runaway Railway, BB-8 for Galaxy's Edge, Olaf for the Frozen Sing-Along, and Buzz and Jessie for Toy Story Land. The reason why Woody's not there is because there's already a car park sort of area in the Magic Kingdom named after Woody. So that's the reason for that. It's not a big huge change. It's not nothing major really, but it's nice to see they're sort of thinking of everything. Car park names, like, what's the big deal? It just shows the sort of detail that they want to provide for people coming in to Star Wars, to see the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Moving on from that, which will bring me into my next sort of topic within this video. the Skyliner gondola. The whole reason for that transportation system is to bring people in, to get them to the park faster, sort of crowd flow, instead of having a big massive queue at the buses. There's that other option for people who are staying on the resorts that are provided on that line. That'll be a big crowd thing. So what I think now might happen, is still in testing. We can see by photos, like there'll be photos on this video of the gondolas being tested. Like we can see them. People has had photos of them. They can see them moving on the line at speed. They're not just trickling across it. I think they're going like at full speed. What I'm trying to say here is that Disney has said that basically they wanted it to be open in the fall. I think they said the fall and then late fall for Star Wars because they wanted a bit of a gap, sort of test it, see how it's running, the whole unloading, loading situation of it in that sort of regard. I think it will open earlier. I can see it opening earlier. Because Galaxy's Edge is opening earlier, I can see it opening earlier. The only thing that I could see them delaying it for would be the Riviera Resort. Because it won't be open at that point. Because it's a stop on the route. It has its station. But besides that, I think it will open very soon. Especially seeing all the testing. I think it will be very, very soon. I would say, realistically, probably May, June time. Could be earlier, could be after. It could still be fall because of that Riviera Resort. Maybe. We don't know. But as the photos and the videos I saw on Twitter shows, the testing's getting really on. Like it's in the process of being like the testing phases of it probably are like midway, maybe near to completion. I know some of the stations are still getting worked at, but that will not take the Imagineers long to throw them up. It really won't. Now, a lot of things I've saw is the whole ventilation issue because there's no air conditioning going to be attached to these gondolas. And that's been a big issue for a long time. Going back to when it was announced, people were sort of skeptical. What are they going to do? How are they going to sort of ventilize it? How are they going to get the fresh air in? How are they going to keep the guests cold? Because Florida is hot. Really damn hot. I don't know. Like, at the... I think it was at the Destination Day event in summer 2018 at Walt Disney World. They showed the model Bob Chapek. There's a picture on the internet that you can see of Bob Chapek standing beside the Skyliner, where people couldn't see the air conditioning unit on the top. People started freaking out. Like, I mean freaking out. Memes, everything on Twitter. Like, I don't get it. Like, Disney wouldn't have planned to do this in this way if they thought that this would fail or any chance of it failing. If they thought it was going to be too warm, if they had testing, looking at other systems around the world, if they knew that it was going to be too warm, there would be air conditioning on them. Or maybe even the style, the engineering of the actual cabin itself. There was maybe going to be well, we can see now from the photos that there's like the windows, the little tiny sort of windows that open up to let air flow in. And if you're moving across that Skyliner system, and like if you're going into Hollywood Studios and you're flying across the sky, well, not flying, like it's not going to be that fast, but at the speed that it's going, it will bring in a lot of air to keep you sort of cool. The only issue with this is if it stops, break down, because we all know it will. It will. Everything does. Everything does. Let's be real here. Nothing is perfect. That will be the big issue, because then you won't be moving to bring that fresh air in. But I think the downtime, if you were in one that did get stuck, don't freak out. Please don't freak out, because it'll make it worse. It'll make you warmer. I don't think there'll be a lot of downtime there. I think they'll have you go on again in a few minutes, really. But yeah, I get the sort of backlash because of being in Florida and the heat. People love their air conditioning. They love being cool. I get the whole backlash. I do. I can see where people are coming from. But I don't think Disney would have planned this and done it the way they have if they knew it was going to be a greenhouse inside them cabins. They wouldn't have done it. They really wouldn't. Let me know what you guys think. Like, it's all up to... Everybody has their own different opinion on it. That's mine. I don't see the huge issue. Yes, it could be warm, especially in really, really, really warm days. It still will be warm. With that ventilation coming in, the fresh air coming in through them vents, it still will be warm, don't get me wrong. But still, like, they wouldn't have planned it. Now, moving on from that, recently, what was it? It was on the Disney Parks forum. They had announced that there was the new entrance and the new Play Pavilion coming to Epcot. Now, the Play Pavilion will be a brand new pavilion. It will be taking over the space of the Wonders of Life between the Universe of Energy and Mission Space. This building has been down for a while. There hasn't really been a permanent thing held in it since the Wonders of Life closed. It's just been used as sort of a storage facility, and then for the festivals, all the food and that sort of stuff. I think the Play Pavilion will be a glorified play park. It will not appeal to adults. I don't think it will. They could come out and shock us, but the wording that they used on this statement, and sort of going back to D23 when they were talking about the Epcot overhaul, Bob Chapek kept speaking about all of the different... Well, he was talking about families, children, families and children. So I think this will be a very children. It will be all children stuff. I don't believe there will be sort of anything to appeal to regular fans will probably love it. But your sort of standard family that are visiting maybe don't have the hugest of interest in Disney. This will not appeal to them. From the concept art, it does look cool. It looks very vibrant. It looks cool. I'm all about the whole modern aesthetic of it. But then also the whole character and all, like the whole implementation of IPs, like that's there's already so much negativity surrounding sort of Guardians and Ratatouille. I know they've been doing it with like Frozen, even with Nemo in the Seas Pavilion. People don't like it because it goes against the sort of traditional idea of Epcot. See all the memes about IP caught. I get it. I understand. I'm on your side in this. Like, I see it as Magic Kingdom is a place for the characters. Hollywood Studios is a place for the characters. Animal Kingdom, I personally don't think there should be characters in it. I don't. Like, the Asia section of that park, I think, is world class. One of my favourite areas in all of Disney World property. There's like hardly any characters. No mention of them anywhere. It's just outstanding. The detail. Joe Rohde, like hands up, Joe Rohde is a god when it comes to all of this. He is the man basically behind Animal Kingdom. If you just look on his Instagram, the photos, all the travelling he does, he knows his stuff when it comes to detail. Like, Animal Kingdom is not for characters. Same for Epcot. Like, I know the original idea for Epcot, for Walt, what he had planned it to be, realistically, probably never would have happened. Could have, I would love to see it. It suits me to the ground. I would love to see that. But since his passing, the idea just died with him. Let's be real. But even at that, they've made it into a theme park. The original Epcot Centre idea, the whole educational side of it, especially in the future world about energy, the land, the seas. Like, it's so cool. As a child, I loved Epcot. Back before it sort of got outdated, Innoventions was at its pinnacle. Loved that place. Absolutely loved it. I remember going there with my family one day. Me and my brother just stayed in Innoventions and the future world in general all day. We didn't even step foot into the World Showcase. My family, the rest of the family, just went all around it. And yeah, I was more than content. I didn't feel like I missed anything because I just loved it so much. That idea has been thrown out the window, especially with Guardians. I don't get it. I don't understand. Just change the Rock and Roller Coaster. Just change it. Like, the new generation, even myself, Aerosmith, I know who Aerosmith is. Their music is quality. But looking at the future generation, will they know Aerosmith? They probably know it as, oh, that's that band from that ride in Florida and in Paris. They'll not look at it and be like, oh yeah, that band that I love so much, that I listen to all of their albums. Oh, there's a ride about that? I didn't know that. Yeah, I think they should have put Guardians there. And if not, Tower of Terror. What they've done in California, put it there. And then get the whole thing sorted out with Universal about the whole Marvel theme park rides. And then leave the Rock and Roller Coaster as it is. Change the Tower of Terror to Guardians, because they clearly can put Guardians in Walt Disney World because they're doing it. Put it in the Tower of Terror, get it all sorted out with Universal. Then do what they have planned sort of to do in Paris. In the Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris, where they have the Tower of Terror. It is not changing either in its works, but that's more for another day. But basically, their Rock and Roller Coaster, which is where Aerosmith themed, just like the one in Florida, they are changing it to an Avengers Iron Man ride. Now, why couldn't they just do that in Universal? Or not Universal. What am I talking about? Universal. They could do that in Hollywood Studios. They've got Galaxy's Edge. They've got Toy Story Land. Make Hollywood Boulevard Marvel. Get it done. Get it sorted. Get Universal sorted out first. That's top priority, I think, in my mind. Before you do anything, get them sorted. Pay them off. Do something. Get them rights back, because the money that they are missing out on by having Marvel attractions is ludicrous. I don't get it. But yeah, but going back to the whole idea of this, the Play Pavilion, it will just be a playground, just probably absolutely filled with characters and different IPs. As you see from the concept art, there's the whole, all the characters and the walking around with the people. They've also got the ones on the billboards, like that app, like the Disney emojis, sort of like that sort of style. Don't know what the app's called, never played it. Hate mobile games. But yeah, I think it will just be a play park. I would love to see them do something with the Body Wars space and the Cranium Command space. Like, make a show, make something, make an attraction that will appeal to adults and children. But moving on from that, do go to the entrance. At the moment, what people call it, the gravestones. Yeah, they're being removed, but they're not being removed completely. They're not being demolished and just threw in the bin. No, they're moving them sort of outside of the actual turnstiles and probably putting it just in the corner, like over by where the car park is. just so it's still there. People can see it if they want to see it. They don't have to be forced into seeing it and forced to sort of scoot their way through the majorly number of people trying to get through. It's just a big blockade. It's like a barrier. It's like, yeah, you have to go through like a checkpoint between them before getting through. That's not the way it should be. The concept art looks so cool. It's just like when it opened. Like I was reading a book the other day. It was all about Epcot, and there was concept art. Now this book was from like 1983. 83? When did Epcot open? No, I think it was from like 1988 or something along them lines. And it was showing the concept art, talking about the creation of it, talking about Walt's original idea. Well, I don't think it shows too much of it, but it sort of explains it. And basically, the concept from it that I saw was the entrance. I'm like, that literally put it side by side with the new concept art we got for the images. They are the same. They look the same. They've got the fount. You've got all the greenery. It looks cool. It does. As well, the flags. It has the original Epcot logo. Bring it back. Get rid of that 2000s logo that they have with the different colours. I don't like it. I never liked it. The original one's cool. And it's all about retro now. Like, when the 35th anniversary, it was a blast. 35th. It was a blast. All the merch, everything was covered in that logo. It looked cool. People loved it. Disney, people loved it. Come on. Money, money, money. Just bring it back. Put it on everything. Sell it, sell it. Yeah. Just make more money. Also in Epcot, on March 6th, just past there, the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival has begun. Yeah, just another festival really, isn't it? Like, there's that many of them. What's the difference between them now? I don't know. They've all got their booths with their food. They've all got different showcases. But yeah, to me, they're all similar. They're all the same. I think my favourite would probably be Festival of the Arts, because it's got that, I don't know, it's just got that thing about it. I don't care about flowers or gardens. Doesn't appeal to me. Food and wine, yes, love food. Who doesn't? But Festival of the Arts is just cool. Festival of the Holidays, never been. I don't know what it's like. Yeah, but even at that, like, Flower and Garden, I saw that they had the Orange Bird Cup. It looked so cool. But then the queues for it, the people waiting, the pictures were like, I was like, oh no, I am never going to wait in the queue like that. But yeah, the cup looked cool. And then they brought the Coco show that they had in DCA in California. They brought that over, which seems to be good. A huge sort of hit with the mariachi band. Yeah, apart from that, it's just another festival. And ending on that, I think that will do it for episode 1 of Main Street Newscast. Leave suggestions in the comments if you want me to talk about anything, any questions at all. And also just a reminder that there is a Discord for my channel. It will be in the description below. And also to like and subscribe and turn notifications on just to sort of keep up to date with when I post. I usually tend to post on Saturdays. But if I am majorly busy, I haven't posted in a while. From before making this video, I haven't posted in a while because I've been that busy with university stuff. But before that, I've tried to do it every week. But hopefully, coming in the summertime now, I will, or even whenever I finish uni, basically, I will get more time to make videos, make these more of a discussion, sort of more interaction with fans and that sort of stuff in the future. But yeah, apart from that, that's basically it. That's it. That's finished. Basically just roll the intro. Roll the outro. Sorry. I'm tired. Leave me alone.